Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel BethChatsBooks. Now today's video is going to be my July TBR video. So like previous TBRs, I'm not going to talk about a whole load of books and I'm not going to make a massive TBR pile because I find that I feel most comfortable and confident with a small TBR pile so that I have room to overexceed. So without further ado, let's just get straight stuck into this video. So the first book I want to talk about is A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline. And I'm reading that currently in audiobook, so I'll just insert a picture here. Now I'm currently reading that this month with Anthony Andrews for his July 4 weeks book club. So I've previously mentioned this a lot, but I'll link it down below. He runs a 4-week book club and I'm the first host. In the first month he picked the book and that was in June, and so for July, A Wrinkle in Time is the book that we're reading. And on the 28th of July, I believe, at 6 PM British Standard Time, we are going to do an Instagram Live to answer all your questions about that book. So if you would like to read that with us, then please do. If you want to read it on audiobook like me, or you want to read a hard physical copy, which Anthony Andrews is reading, he's got it from his local library, I believe, then please feel free to join in with us, and I'll link all the information down below in the doobly bar. And we can read it all together. So I'm currently about 50% of the way through it and I'm really enjoying it. And obviously I'll save all the juicy bits for that Instagram Live. So that is the first book I'm reading this month. And then the second book I'm planning to read this month is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire by J.K. Rowling. I'm currently 150 pages in. I've just passed the part where they have the World Cup and Ireland win. And he keeps having the dreams about Voldemort and Wormtail. I absolutely love this book. This is one of my favourite Harry Potter stories. I love the Triwizard Tournament. I love all the events. I love that they become more adult in this storyline. So there's a little bit of romance with Hermione and Krum. And then we have everything with Cedric Diggory. This is the last book with Cedric Diggory and that's heartbreaking. I love all the events, the dragons, the kind of underwater bit, and then the maze at the end. And this is where the books really take on that more adult content and adult style, because the book becomes massive and it's a lot of character development, which in the other first 3 books you don't really get as much, and which I'm super excited to dive into. So I've already started that. As you can tell, it has a lovely dust jacket which matches this image and this back and front, but I took the dust jacket off because I find it sometimes a bit trying to read with the dust jacket on, but you know, you're not missing out because the dust jacket looks the same. So there's that one. And then the next book I'm planning to read this month is The Silent Companions by Laura Burchell. Now this is a horror-y kind of thriller ghost story, I believe. So my mum has recently just read this a few days ago and she told me it's absolutely fantastic and I need to get to it. So I'm going to read you guys the blurb because it'll do a better job than I can. So newly married, newly widowed Elsie is sent to see out her pregnancy at her late husband's crumbling country estate, The Bridge. With her new servants resentful and the local villagers actively hostile, Elsie only has her husband's awkward cousin for company, or so she thinks. For inside her new home lies a mysterious wooden figure, a silent companion that bears an unsettling resemblance to Elsie herself. So, I heard that this was really good from What Page Are You On podcast. Yep. With Bethany Rutter and Alice Slater, which I've mentioned previously. They did about really good thrillers this year. They mentioned this book, they said it was banging and it was a wild ride. So I'm quite excited to read this. From the blurb I kind of get the similar vibes to The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton. And it says here that it's kind of got similar vibes to Woman in Black, Rebecca-esque. Here it's got this manor house and strange goings on. It kind of seems to me like a conglomeration of all those others and well within those kind of genres. So I'm excited to see what it'll bring, but my mum's not usually a thriller ghost kind of fan and she actually really enjoyed it. So I think that gives me a good encouragement to try it. So there's that one. And then the next book I want to talk about sounds like a bit of deja vu because I've literally just mentioned her, and that is The Muse by Jessie Burton. Now I've read The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton, which I just mentioned, a long while ago and I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. I didn't fall in love with it. And I think that was because of many different factors. I found the theme quite dark, and there was just an oppressive atmosphere in it that I couldn't really fathom, but it just kind of, it didn't allow me to connect as well with the story. And that's reminded me about, I mentioned a while ago about trying to do maybe general atmospheres and things about books, which I will try and get to. I've been really bad recently about just general everything. I'm not keeping up with my tags very well. I've still not done my reflective video. I'm just a hot mess, okay guys, but I'm trying to get through these things. So I'm going to make a list next week of all the things that I've said and waffled on about, and I will make them come to fruition, so don't you worry. So anyway, so I'm going to try the Muse and see if I enjoy it better, because a lot of people say they preferred it to the miniaturist. So I'm also going to read you the blurb because I don't really know what it's about. So on a hot July day in 1967, Odelle Bastien climbs the stone steps of the Skeleton Gallery in London, ready for her look to change. She's been employed as a typist by the glamorous and enigmatic Marjorie Quick, who unlocks a potential Odelle didn't realise she had. When a lost masterpiece arrives at the gallery, Quick seems to know more than she is prepared to reveal, and Odelle is determined to unravel the truth. The painting's secret history lies in 1936 in a large house in rural Spain, where Olive Chaulas, the daughter of a renowned art dealer, is harbouring ambitions of her own. Into this fragile paradise comes two strangers who overturn the Chaulas family with explosive and devastating consequences. So my mum also put this in my hand recently and was like, I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed it way more than the miniaturist. It's really fantastic. You should give it a try. And also because it sounds so very different in tone, in theme and everything to the miniaturist, maybe I'll get on better. Now, it's not to say that the miniaturist wasn't a good book, but I just found it overwhelmingly intense for me. It was just very dark and depressing, and not in the juicy way that I usually like. It was just a bit more tedious, and there had some magical realism in it I didn't connect with. So I don't know if this will have magical realism in it and whether I will enjoy it, because I'm not against magical realism. But I've had a few niggly issues with magical realism recently. For example, The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden, which I mentioned in my June wrap-up. I didn't get on with the magical realism very well in that. But I love things like Harry Potter and other kind of magical realism worlds, so like Lord of the Rings and things. So we'll just have to see. I haven't actually read Lord of the Rings, but I watched the films and I love that. So I'm not opposed to magical realism, guys. I'm just hoping that I can find a few books where I really enjoy it, and then I can explain to you guys what kind of elements of magical realism I do like. But anyway, waffle over. I'm planning to read this book this month. And then the last book I'm planning to read is Swing Time by Zadie Smith. Now, my mum has also, there's a theme this month, my mum also read this and loved this, but she gave me this a while ago. I've read NW by Zadie Smith and I loved it, and this has been sitting in my book box and I completely forgot about it. I mentioned to you guys previously that I had a book box that had loads of books in it, and the other day I lost my temper and said, I've read loads of books now, I need to clear out the book box of all the books I haven't read and put in all the books I have read into it so that I can put it back in storage and know that my books that I need to read are really near me when I need them. So this one came back out of the book box and I remembered that I really want to read this, but I'm going to read you the blurb so you actually know what this book is about. So, set in London, New York and West Africa, Swing Time is about two brown girls from Willesden who dream of being dancers. Only one, Tracy, has the talent, but the other has ideas which take her further than she could ever have imagined. It is a story of finding happiness in the meanest of places and feeling sad when all around you are happy. It's about the choices we make and the choices made for us. Above all, it's a tale of the friendships that anchor us, define us and change us forever. So I love that about Zadie Smith. In NW, she explored friendship explicitly and identity and all the different themes of that. She also plays around with form and structure and style in her novel. In NW there was 3 different voices and they were using, whether it was first or third person, different tenses, and they had their own colloquial style in it, and I really enjoyed that. She's very playful with those things, so I'm hoping that's in here as well. But I've heard that a lot of people have said that this is one of the best novel she's ever written, so I want to get to it. You know, The Guardian claimed it was the book of the year. It had such high acclaim when it came out. I think it went on the Bailey's long list, but I don't think it made it to the short list. Maybe last year. Bit vague on that kind of information for you guys. But yeah, I heard it's amazing and I want to get to it, so there's that. So I'm hoping that if I read any more in this month, I will let you know in my wrap up, and obviously you can follow me on Goodreads and see how I'm getting on. But I thought keep it low, keep it easy, keep it stress-free, because I had a really good reading month last month and I want to keep that good momentum going, but without the pressure of feeling like I have to compete with a massive TBR pile. So that's everything I wanted to say for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button if you want to be alerted for when any of my future videos come out, and I'll see you very soon. Bye now.